Hey, come in.
Hi, Mr. Jonesville.
Yeah, how are you
Hi,
doing?
doing well. I'm Jason Rappel at Salesforce.
Right,
Nice to
right.
meet you.
Please, take a seat.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm in a bit of a rush, though. I
Okay.
got a flight to catch in about 12 minutes, if that's all right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Where are you heading to?
Tristan de Coon, have you heard of that one?
I have not. It sounds exotic.
You know what? I think I'm actually remembering you. Carmen sent you?
Right.
Okay.
I'm good friends
Okay.
with her.
Right, right. Yeah, it's a really exotic place. You know, frankly, I just wanted to get away from it all. I'm
Don't
getting
we
a
all?
little too stressed back here at work.
Okay.
Stuff has been consuming a little too much time.
Yeah.
Because we've been growing about 5% every year.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Exactly.
You know, some people would say that's a good thing.
It's amazing, and I'm really proud of that. But we need to upgrade the system
Right.
because our business is getting too expansive, and I'm having to manage too many salespeople to not have this process automatized.
Okay. Well, hopefully we could end today on a good note so you could head over to your trip in a good mood, huh?
Please.
Okay, great. And before we start, let me just give you my business card if you don't mind.
Sure.
Just so if after today you do need anything, feel free to reach out to me or, anything like that.
I don't know if I can reach out from the island, but I'll give you a
Right.
call in about a week or so.
Okay, great. And before we begin, just to give you an idea of what I'd like to do today,
Okay.
hopefully I can get a better idea of your company. And you mentioned the 5% growth, that's great, but maybe more of an in-depth look and see some of the maybe not so positive aspects of it and see if Salesforce can maybe help you with that. And if so, create a relationship and move forward from there.
Yeah,
Does that sound
let's
good
do
to you?
that.
Okay, great. And with a decision like this, I know it can vary from company to company, but when you are considering a new CRM program, what steps would you normally take with something like this?
Roberto, he would be managing the funds, so I would have to consult with him on pretty much all aspects of this, how efficient it is, and really, he's been needing to do this for quite some time, frankly, though, and he hasn't.
And who is Roberto, if you don't mind me asking?
He manages our purchasing decisions. He's the VP of purchasing. Right.
Okay.
Thank you. But like I said, he hasn't helped with this process very much. I asked him to take care of this a couple months back, and he basically did tell me that if you take the time to do this, that he will trust my opinion. And right.
So as far as meeting today, you just want to be one-on-one?
Yeah, I have to wait in 12 minutes.
Okay,
I don't see anyone coming in.
That's perfectly understandable. And with a decision like this one, I know you mentioned a little bit of what people you normally consult, but what steps would you normally take with something like this?
Normally, I would talk to my team, make sure that they're okay with this.
Right.
Right now, I don't see that as any reason to talk to them, just because our system is so basic that anything really would be better.
Okay.
I'm just really looking for a competitive advantage that you can provide over other, because right now I'm looking at Sugar CRM,
sure.
Microsoft Dynamics, and really just looking for that difference.
Okay.
Right.
And you mentioned Roberto again. So we do actually offer a lot of different services and products within Salesforce.
Okay.
And just to get a better idea, do you know how much you'd be willing to invest on a new CRM program such as us?
Okay. I can tell you frankly that profit is more important than the price.
Okay.
So as long
I'm
as
glad you see it that way. Sometimes people have a hard time understanding that. But.
Right, but my main concern is that being a medium-sized business with our amount of revenue, if the price is a base price that's too high, it doesn't matter what percentage, we just can't afford it. So I really have to consult with them on the budget, but as long as it's competitively priced, I don't see it being an issue.
Yeah, neither do I then, so sounds good.
Okay.
And just to confirm with you, how many users do you see using this? Because that does obviously affect the price.
Okay. So it's user-based?
Right.
Okay, so we have, would a sales manager be considered as part of it?
A user would be anyone that you want having access to the program, so it'd really be up to you about that one.
Okay, so let's say about 30, then 25 salespeople, 4 sales managers, and then myself to oversee.
Okay, great. And you mentioned your growth, your 5%. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And do you see expansion happening because of that, or what do you think?
We haven't been looking to expand. Frankly, it's just coming our way. I think a big part of
problem to have, huh?
Right. I think a big issue that we have been having, though, is that with this expansion, the way we get a business is through referrals, is through keeping our customers happy. We're a very client-oriented business. That's our niche, is our customer service. But with the amount of expansion that we've been experiencing, it's getting harder and harder to keep track and maintain all of those customer relationships. I'm having to oversee more salespeople. We hired 15 new salespeople recently, and it used to be 10, and communication among them would be a lot easier. But nowadays, it's just a mess.
So it sounds like whether or not you really want it, your company's growing. Is that right?
Right.
How do you see your current program being able to handle that growth? Do you see it growing with you?
I see. I would see that we would definitely have to change our current program.
Okay.
I don't see it growing with us now.
So there is a need there.
Right.
Okay.
Right. We automate some processes through Excel, just through the multiplication division functions that they provide, but
right.
I'd really like something that's a lot more readable for the managers. Right.
Sure. And you mentioned that, obviously your program could use a little work and there are some improvements.
Right.
But hopefully there are some good things. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put that 1 being just dreadful and 10 being you're very happy with it?
Okay. I would say it's a 5 for one reason only. I'm not happy with it at all. It's free.
You don't like the fact that it's free?
No, I love the fact that it's free.
Oh, that's the only reason.
That's the only reason.
Okay, I was going to say.
That's the only reason it's a 5.
Okay. Well, hopefully I can show you why, even though we do have some costs associated with it, we could definitely beat that 5 and surpass your expectations.
Sure.
But what would make that a 10 for you?
Okay, that's a good question. I would like to see something that, right now we're using multiple processes. I would love to see everything in one page. I also want to see more top-down information. So right now it's each individual person's data. And I mean, we have some Excel graphs, but they're not what I'd like it to be. And frankly, I just want to see a dashboard, a proper dashboard for once in my life that I can base my decisions off of. It would make my life a lot easier. And this is why I'm going on vacation, is because I'm too stressed out and this is too time-consuming for me.
Okay. And you mentioned that, it's kind of disorganized and you really don't have that one-page method.
Right.
How do you see that affecting your operations as of now?
I'd like to phrase it in 2 ways, errors and efficiency.
Okay.
It's not efficient, and I get errors because I'm having to move that information from one area to the other. What that does is it hurts my clients. I mean, that's the foundation of my business, is my client orientation. So when that happens, my clients get let down because there's multiple people calling each client multiple times.
How many instances have you noticed where something like this happens and a client's upset?
I don't even have a way of keeping track of that, except when a client calls me and complains about that. For that, I know I've heard that at least 5 times this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you could quantify that, how much business do you think you lost because of something like that?
With the 5 clients, that I'm sure there's clients that don't even bother to call me and then just give up on that business.
Yeah. I mean, we've all been there.
Right. So, and every single year we're giving them updated acoustics. So it's not just a one-time thing that a client buys. We need our reoccurring clients because they provide reoccurring purchases.
Right. And it sounds to me like you mentioned earlier, it is important to retain your current customers.
Yeah, correct.
Really good help with that. And what would it mean to your business if we could give you that top-down transparency and really help you fit it all into one efficient program? What would that mean?
Hell with the business. For me, that would mean so much more comfort for me.
Okay.
I'm having to read. We have 25 individual pages for each one of our salespeople right now. Okay, and with each individual page, not only do we not have a name assigned to it, I mean it's the title of the document, but we don't actually have a name there.
Okay.
So it just gets confusing. Sometimes I can't even go through all of that information. If you can fix that, I would be a very happy man.
I could definitely see how you're stressed out right now.
Yes.
But hopefully we could be the permanent fix that your vacation's giving you the temporary fix for.
There we go. Oh, that would sound really good. Permanent vacation. Is that what you're offering?
That's hopefully what we could do for you. We're helping you get your dreams accomplished.
Sure.
Not just selling a CRM program.
Sure.
But cheesy lines aside, so it sounds to me like a couple of your main concerns would be the fact that you really don't have an efficient system as of right now, if I understand correctly, and the fact that you would like a more transparent system, and just the fact that all of this and the errors associated with it, the trickle-down effect that it has on your clients, which obviously that's your number one goal to avoid. Would you say that's correct?
Right.
Okay, great.
Right.
Well,
I'm glad you understood that. Client orientation, I want my time to be less time consumed, but the business is going to go down if we don't take care of our clients, and frankly, I'm out of a job at that point too.
And, honestly, even with Salesforce, I'm in the same exact position. I'm here to help you, right? So, Well, anyways, so what I'd like to do is show you how Salesforce can address those needs for you, and hopefully, show you how to reduce the stress levels. How does that
Yeah,
sound?
please.
Okay, great.
Please.
So let me go pull out a screenshot that I have here. So the first thing that you mentioned was that you wanted a dashboard.
Okay.
Well, right there for you.
Right.
That's a dashboard, huh? So that top-down visibility that you also mentioned, you can see here how, as a sales manager, you have access to all this for your salesmen. So whether you're talking about production, you see the graph here, you can see the numbers, literally how much sales they've had, you can compare them over time versus one another.
Okay.
That gives you that top-down transparency that you want. So anyone with access to these, they get access to their leads, they get access to their production, anything you could want.
Okay.
So
Do I have to make these graphs, or are they just there?
So it's like basically when you go into Excel and input the information,
Right.
but it's a much more user-friendly version, and on top of that, it'll take that information and automatically build these for you. So it's a lot more
make
automated.
the titles and make the
Right.
X and Y.
It handles all of that for
That would
you,
be
so
really
you don't have to
nice.
worry about that.
Okay, because that's my job right now.
Right. So does that kind of answer your concern with
Yes.
that? Okay.
Absolutely.
And secondly, you mentioned the fact that you have a lot of errors that deal with, whether it's communication, whether it's just the program not being user-friendly,
Right.
and it goes on to your clients. And what I could say to that is that we actually offer something called Chatter,
Okay.
which lets your salespeople communicate with one another, and they constantly have access to each other's accounts and anything like that within privacy limits, and they can communicate exactly what's going on with one another.
Okay.
So does that kind of address that need for
Now,
you?
with Chatter, is it? That sounds a lot like just a social network. Wouldn't there be security issues with that?
So your concern is that there really isn't too much privacy capabilities or something like that?
I mean, correct. I can't have my plans going out to other people.
Right.
So
I could definitely see how that would be a concern, and our main goal is to protect the privacy of yourself and your employees.
Okay.
And what I could say to that is that not only can you restrict access of who can see the information,
right.
but if we've never had a
Okay.
breach, and on top of that, if there ever was a breach, God forbid, that we handle the liability, so it's not on you, and we'll cover any damages that are associated with that.
Okay. But I mean, what's stopping somebody else from not even breaching, just going online and looking at that information?
Could you please clarify that for me?
Sure. I mean, if I have a competitor, what stops them from just coming in and looking at this social network?
Okay, so you're more concerned with the cloud-based software that we offer. Is that correct?
No, this about the Chatter.
Okay. So what I can tell you with that is, again, only people from your account with your username and password and anything like that have access to it. So outside competitors have no way of getting into this information and doing anything like that.
Okay.
So
Okay, so that alleviates. Okay. But you did mention the cloud. That has actually been one of my big issues lately. I know that cloud systems have had a lot of breaches. You did mention that you haven't been breached once yet, so that kind of does alleviate my concern. But if a breach did happen, how would we go about handling that?
Okay, so you're primarily concerned with the steps taken if something like that did happen?
Correct.
Okay, so what would happen is we'd go and find first the reason for the breach, basically the root of it in the source. Then we eliminate it, correct the problem, and in terms of any financial damages or anything like that, we agree on an amount or whatever we could do to get you back to your original state.
Okay. Now, with those financial damages, would that involve potential future business? I mean, having reoccurring clients. I can understand that you would be liable. The cloud system would be liable in that part, true. But would they be liable for any future business that I may lose?
Obviously, we'd have to discuss that in the future, and something like that is subjective, but we'd be open to talking about it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So if that's all, then hopefully I've shown you what we can offer, and at this point I'd like to go ahead and move forward with Salesforce. How does that sound to you?
You know what? Yeah, I actually am very interested in this, but one thing that I did want to talk about was the price point.
Okay.
One last thing. So, what is the pricing on this one?
So what I'd recommend for a medium-sized business such as yourself, I'm going to go ahead and tell the price sheet.
And you know what? I'm actually am going to be running late for this fight, and you know what? This isn't actually my area of expertise.
Okay.
Would you just mind emailing that to me, and I can bring that to Roberto?
Sure. I'll
think that'd be
actually
a
do
lot
that immediately for you.
Okay.
And it sounds like you want to set up a follow-up meeting then?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I'm definitely interested in this product. I mean, you have my vote. I will definitely
Sure. When will work best for you?
I get back next week, so how about Thursday, same time?
Sure. Sounds great.
Hey,
Thank you
thanks
very
a lot.
much.
Thanks a lot,
Appreciate
Jason.
your time.
Yeah.
Have a
Have a
great
good one.
trip. How much over did I go? I think I'm at like 14.